Hello, my friend. You've asked me to speak about grief. And grieving is usually a very hidden experience. And that's why there isn't maybe as much clarity about how you should deal with that or how you might feel in your grief. Grief is the response to a permanent loss. It is very often the loss of a person you have loved a lot. Grief either happens to you or it doesn't happen to you. It's very much like birth. It is like a natural phenomenon in the face of something that you cannot change and that you cannot help and that you haven't asked for, and that just revolutionizes your entire life. It doesn't have to be a person who has died or somebody you were very close to. It can also be the loss of your own health or a part of your body that is lost, or it can be a part of your identity that is lost. Identity is also a very important part of it, always is, because when somebody you love dies, it's like they take a whole part of you with them. It's like you become diminished, depleted. Something that was essential to you as part of your life, as part of who you are, is now never going to be there anymore. So that is a huge change in your body, in your feelings, in your habits, and also in your brain. It needs to accommodate. Your whole life, your whole self needs to absorb the shock and accommodate to the new situation. And you know you will react very differently with the death of one person or another person, or with the loss of one aspect of your life or another aspect of your life. But if it comes with full blow or particularly unexpected, it can really wipe you out. It can really paralyze you. It can really be such a shock that you don't know how to make sense of it, let alone absorb it. It might be hard even to just accept that this is what is happening. So give yourself a lot of time and a lot of space, and take it easy. Go extremely slowly with it, and do not put any expectations on yourself about how long or how short this should be. Do not expect there to be particular stages, because it goes differently for different people. It all depends whether you were prepared for it or whether it comes out of the blue. If it comes out of the blue, then you will probably find it very hard to even believe that it's happening. And you might fight that idea briefly or for a few days. But eventually reality catches up and you will feel these waves of a tearing pain that is basically about your adaptation to something essential that is now no longer available, or someone essential who is now no longer part of your life. Grieving is a process of disinvesting and literally taking something out of yourself and reorganizing your entire life, your entire being, in order to become a new person and find this new identity that you will need in order to go into the future. But before that happens, it may feel unovercomably hard at times. It may feel as if it's too painful. It may feel violent. It may feel like ups and downs, like big waves of emotion. And if the loss is very severe because you were codependent or very closely connected to the person, then it may feel that there cannot be an end to this grieving. And it may be true that you will continue to hold the person with you in some ways, and that you'll find a way to accommodate your own life to that. It is now often talked about that it is important to continue to have a relationship with the person you've lost or the situation you've lost, and not to completely disinvest from it, but to keep what is of value and to honor that, and to be willing to engage with that actively and to find a new way to be in relation to that person. So honoring the person who is lost, or honoring what is lost, is a good way of doing that. Finding things you can do to their memory for that to continue with you and with other people in the world, to pursue their work or to let other people know about them. That can help a lot. Rituals are fantastically important. We don't have funeral rituals for nothing. To have rituals, to, bury something or somebody, or to plant the ashes, or to have a ritual of commemoration, or to collect money and create some kind of memorial. All of those kinds of things. Being in community, sharing memories, singing together. Oh, the role of music, my friend. It's so important because music goes beyond rational thought, and it allows you to wash away some of the sharp feelings and to merge with the melancholy of the music that is just written for that. I know that when I have grieved deeply, listening to Mozart's Requiem has been incredibly supportive to me. In the intensity of that incredibly melancholy, grieving music, you can find some release for the struggle you have with your own feelings. If there is anger, you need to find a way to let it out. If there's unfinished business, it would be good to find a grief counselor to work on that, and to have that imaginary dialogue with the person that you need to still talk some things through with. And even though they're not here physically with you, they're mentally and emotionally there with you. So it's never very difficult to bring that up. You got to come to a point where you can allow yourself to really celebrate what it is you treasure about what is lost, about the person you loved, and to make it your own, to make it part of your future life, the life that is now going to come for you, going forward. What did you learn from them? How can you take some of that with you and feel gratitude for what you have learned from them, what you have inherited from them, as it were? Grief, my friend, is like a complete reorganization of who you are and what your life looks like. And you need to give yourself the time to allow it to go deeply, because doing it superficially simply postpones it or keeps it stuck somewhere inside of you, or being too brave about it will just make you crash later on. So take the time, and most of all, be patient with yourself and be loving towards yourself, because now you have to give yourself this love that they were there to give to you. So give yourself that love and do some of the things that you know will feel good to you and that will help you to come to a feeling of liberation from the pain you've been going through, to ease the pain of the grief and to come to the work of the grief, where you find ways of dealing with what is left behind and what you have to sort out, and how you can continue to do that work of surviving what has been lost or who has been lost. How can you now make a life of dignity and strength for yourself? How can you become more valuable through this deep experience? How can you allow it to make you more empathetic of others who are grieving? How can you learn to forget and let go of some of your resentments or some of your regrets or the remorse that you never had out with them? All of these things are important. And remembrance is also important. If you know there's going to be a ritualized form of remembrance, you have something to hold on to. It's like guide rails for you to find your way forward, and for the emotions and the fierceness of your grief to be canalized instead of being like a wild river that is going outside of its boundaries and borders. You have to find a way to bring that energy to your center and allow it to become a path that takes you back towards the peace of you accepting and releasing whatever it is, whoever it is, that is now no longer here in your life. They're still inside of you. It all remains with you, my friend. Nothing is ever lost forever. Decide how you are going to become more yourself after all this has started to become a valuable, worthy, deep part of yourself. That's going to be about new ways of being, new beginnings, new engagements with life. But you cannot do that, my friend, until you have released the pain and you have found a way. Be good to yourself. Be good. Be at ease with it. Be at peace. The peace is necessary for those who survive. That's why they say, let the dead bury the dead. They can look after themselves now, my friend. You are the one who needs to build peace now and for the rest of your life. Be careful. Go slow.